Is sports nutrition about health?
Oh, the quick answer to that is no. It's not about health. It's about performance. And I think athletes are willing to sacrifice health if they win. And in fact, we all know Julius Thomas, former NFL player. He said that if you ask NFL players, despite all the injuries and the debilitating injuries they have when they're older, if they would be willing to still play again, he says they'll all say yes. So for them, it has nothing to do with health. So was Dr. Burke's position different? And Tony, pipe in if you think it's, if it's about health, or to me, I don't think health really comes in the equation.
Well, yeah, I'll preface it quickly. I'll go with a quick answer and then let Doug really address this in length. Look, if you're a left tackle in football and your quarterback's right-handed, you're going to get big money, right? LTs, left tackles, offensive tackles make big money. The blind side protector. If you're already 6'6", maybe that's 6'7", that's not even great for your health. But if you got to put on 100 pounds to make that position and get the big pay, you're going to do it. And walking around at 6'7", 335, 340 is probably not great for you. But nevertheless, the responsibility of the nutrition professional at that time is to get them to 345, right? And to get them there, because that's what's going to facilitate their position, but above and beyond all, the payday. So I'm with you. At most points, I think they diverge, and they diverge quite largely, both health and performance. Doug, up to you.
Well, one of you teed this off perfectly by mentioning football, because we do have data regarding football players and expected or life expectancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we do have data regarding professional football players and major diseases, heart disease, diabetes. And we know that typically, if you play in the NFL, on average, according to the data, you die about 20 years earlier than everybody else.
Wait, it's that much sooner? Is it 20?
Yeah.
I think linemen, maybe not every position, but I believe Doug's right. With linemen, yes.
Yes.
Wow.
But and I'm aggregating everybody, but it's different by position.
Mm-hmm.
A tight end is a lot different than a lineman, is going to be quite different than the kicker. And no offense to any position, they're just different sizes and shapes. Yep. But all in all, being equal, it's not the NFL's fault, but it's looking at the weight for the height and the way that you eat, because even in football, if those extra pounds do not slow down a player, they're able to keep the same speed, then they look at it as a positive because there's more momentum going forward if you're a lineman pushing one way or the other. And so therefore it's good, but it's not good for your internal organs, not good for your internal health. So one of the things that there's a friend of mine, she's a registered dietitian, and she used to be the sport nutritionist for the Miami Dolphins, and now she works for the USDA. And Pascal Jean is her name. And Pascal used to always say that one of the biggest things that she aimed to work on with the Dolphins were setting you up for success after you're done playing, from a nutrition, education, life health standpoint, because of the data that shows, of a greater incidence of diabetes and hypertension and heart disease. And when you have more hypertension, you have greater risk of earlier mortality. So the real issues here are, for sport nutrition, it's about in the now. Yeah. So Louise was asking about what questions should they focus on for myths about sport nutrition in an upcoming session that she's having. And I said that sport nutrition in the now is about health, because it's not. I agree with you, Joey. It's about performance. And sometimes what you need to perform your best is not going to necessarily be the best for longevity. Right? Or the best for whatever it might be. Longevity is probably the ultimate thing, right? Because if you're not long, you die early. So it's unfortunate. So I do think one of the exciting things about sport nutrition is that you can specialize, but you cannot necessarily generalize. We do know that there are general truths about physiology. There are generally general truths about physics and thermodynamics, right? And that everybody always says, when they're, promoting themselves, I'm different. Well, you are, but you're not, right?
Exactly.
You know, but one of the things that I think that is often misunderstood about sport nutrition by a lot of early stage sport nutritionists, and even in the time period, Joey, that you and I first met, is that the thought process is, here, I wrote you your plan, follow this, right? Well, what about if you're on your plan, you want me eating oats and broccoli and well, heck, I haven't met a piece of broccoli that I ever like, so I won't do that. I'm not saying that I'm being facetious, but real.
Sure.
And oats, I don't even know how to make them. So why are you putting that on my list? So meaning I'm trying to give a funny but real world example of when you're talking about one-on-one nutrition, taking the evidence-based and applying it as the ISSN does through its recommendations and position stands, right? It really spells it out for people what to do and how, or how to do and what. And this is, you know, you really have to have it all encompassing and be giving this kind of stuff thought.